Hey y'all, so I'm done with this grape fast. I'm not done eating grapes, I've incorporated more fruits and veggies into my diet, and I have my breakfast here, banana, guava, strawberry smoothie, and I picked the banana and guava locally, which just amazes me. Mother Earth is just like, so crazy. And so I broke my fast with a big bowl of mangoes, and it was really nice. I was so amazed by just like the simplest meals. It was a nice refresher to kind of complete it and then get back into some other fruits. I do want to like wrap up the last bit of my experience with this fast and then kind of discuss a little bit of my overarching takeaways from it as tips for if and when I decide to do this fast again, which I'm thinking I want to do it like once a year. I don't know, those are just kind of some of my thoughts. But basically, I already talked about some of the physical and the emotional, some mental stuff in some of my past videos, and those were the symptoms that I kind of experienced throughout the first couple weeks. There were a lot of fluctuations there, but after like I would say the third week, things started to settle out. Also around the third week I started gaining more weight, and so in my first 2 weeks I lost about 6 pounds, and that's not my goal. It wasn't like the intention to keep like losing weight. I only weigh around like 105 on average, so I have to kind of be careful with like fasts and stuff. I don't want to lose too much of my existence. And so basically in the book it actually mentions how when you do regain weight on the grapes, your body has done like a pretty deep cleanse. So the Grape Cure was what I was getting a lot of my information from by Johanna Brandt. Probably the third week was a settling out period. I was kind of cruising, and so I kind of had a hold on how things were going. I was going through like a pattern, finishing things out, getting a lot of projects and creative things that I had been working on completed, which was nice to kind of have that mental clarity and space as well. So I had been asked a few questions on how this was like affecting me spiritually as far as like meditating and certain things of that nature, and I definitely had more focus in order to meditate, but I don't think I'm going to go too far into the spirituality side. I was like experiencing some really interesting things because I don't believe that healing is one dimensional. It's totally multidimensional, so I did explore a little bit in that realm, but I don't know if this video is like suited or the place for me to kind of talk about it. Unless someone like messages me and wants to know more, I might talk about it a little bit later. But basically, I guess I'll just go over the tips, and they're not really tips, they're more so gentle reminders of like kind of tools that we all have access to that we can use in order to kind of vibrate higher when we're feeling a little bit low, and things to help us get through an extended time during like any kind of detox or a fast. But so like the physical tools that are good to have are a pen and paper, like a document or a journal, or just something to kind of like keep track of your experience. And I had a Word document with like 3 columns, the date, the consumption of grapes and the time, and then like the feels column. So that was just like the experiences that I was going through, what I was noticing, all of that, and that was really helpful. But other than that, probably the biggest reminder that I would have to give myself would be to look to nature. And in doing that, I really believe that she is the master of all healers, so I kind of want to elaborate more. So I'll break that down into air, outdoors, movement, and right thought. As far as air goes, I think that is the element that our body is dealing with the most, with the exchanging of the inhaling and exhaling. Bringing awareness to your breath is really the true anchor that we have in dealing with our physical body. And you can go and abstain from food and liquids for an extended amount of time, but try and hold your breath for like 7 minutes. It's just like not possible. It's kind of fatal, so don't do that actually. But Air is really crucial in helping to cleanse out the body, like getting, taking the deep breaths in and like getting that stale oxygen out, or carbon dioxide rather. But I kind of like became more grateful towards my body and how it was doing this process for me subconsciously, like when you're sleeping and stuff like that. Bringing awareness to your breath is really the true anchor that we have in dealing with our physical body. Like, how often throughout the day do you feel like you're holding your breath in? There's times where you maybe taking shallower breaths throughout the day instead of getting that full deep breath. All these things are just kind of some things to keep in check when regarding thinking about your breath. Exercises with pranayama or like breathing exercises are really an excellent tool to have if you're starting to feel a little bit anxious or kind of not, feeling that great. I definitely recommend going on YouTube and looking up the fire breath. That's one of my favorite exercises. So it's kind of like, and I know that sounds kind of funny, but it really works after you do like a few minutes of it. It's almost the equivalent to a cup of coffee. But yeah, check out some videos on YouTube, or it'll show you the proper technique of how to do different breathing exercises to kind of help with any like restless feelings that you're having. Then it kind of brings me to outdoors. So like going outdoors to get air and get fresh oxygen is a really good thing. There'll be times where I'm inside and just like working on my photography or editing or certain things, and I don't even like look outside the window to see what's going on. So getting outside, getting air, getting sunlight on your skin is all crucial, and taking your shoes off. It helps you ground, walking through the grass, go hug a tree, go do something to kind of like burn off some of that excess electricity that you have. And that's one of the things with grapes, is that they are highly electrical foods, so you do kind of want to be able to ground yourself in some regards. Doing things outside too will help. So that kind of brings me into movement, and you could like go outside and exercise, go on a run, go take your dog out for a walk, or go volunteer at an animal shelter and take those dogs out for a walk. Anything that kind of gets you moving. I want to put hygiene underneath movement as well, both environmental and then personal. So like environmentally, you want to clean, dust, vacuum, mop, the whole shebang. Not only do you not want to be breathing in a dusty ass house, but you kind of want to be able to move as well. So that just the act of cleaning is part of movement. So personal hygiene, I would definitely say just always keep clean, get any dead skin cells off. That'll help allow for the movement of energy and for you to sweat things out better. Also, when like showering, I've been learning to kind of alternate my water temperature by going from like cool to warm. Your body's gonna start like getting a little bit colder and shivering and constricting, and then when it gets hot, it'll start opening up those pores. But it's good for the lymphatic system, and it helps constrict and move the lymph in your body a little bit faster too. So that, and then also I think I'm going to go and talk about right thought now. So right thought in regards to, like what are you consuming? So you're kind of cleaning out the physical and, doing all that, but consider what you're feeding your mentality, you're feeding your spirit. Watch some comedies too. You don't always have to be in self-analysis mode, because that can get pretty deep and you can kind of get stuck in that mode. But, watch some of your favorite cartoons or like comedies on Netflix. Have some books ready, enriching YouTube videos. Along that line of YouTube, I really enjoy some of the videos by Esther Hicks, and she talks a lot about law of attraction. So trying to utilize that has been really, really helpful in my practice as well, and just imagining that I'm at the state of optimal health and like already like benefiting and just going about my daily life, and what I'm imagining myself to be in a fully cleansed and healed body. And then some more information to kind of look into, maybe like Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he talks a lot about like the biology of belief and believing in diseases, and how you know, just believing in the healing aspect will really get you towards that end goal. And he kind of ties in some of his past research with stem cells and like understanding how the differentiation between like a brain cell or a bone cell is made based off of the environment that that stem cell is in and the chemicals that it receives. But I don't think I'm going to go too far into his work. It's interesting, so that's just like my example of, you know, watch some enriching stuff on YouTube. It's there and it's free and it's awesome. If you can't get, you know, a hold of books and you're not a big reader, that's something I definitely would recommend. But also give yourself patience. This is a journey that there's going to be a lot of highs and lows. If you are getting kind of like angsty and hangry and all that, become the witnesser instead and step back and look at yourself from like a third point of view. Sometimes we have like an overgrowth of bacteria, yeast, or fungus in our body that's causing us to have these cravings, and so it may not be your cravings. By doing the fast, you know that you'll be kind of subsiding their influence on your body. So if you are like getting to a point and you're starting to have maybe a healing crisis, maybe take some time off work and don't feel guilty for it. But yeah, try not to put guilt upon yourself, try not to put shame. It's all a journey and it's all an adventure and it's supposed to be fun. So it's definitely a journey for the bold, and I do respect all those people out there that are out there trying to self-heal with love and kindness to themselves. I definitely suggest doing your research, assessing where you are, because we're all at different levels in our own journey, or, you know, the holistic path to wellness. So yeah, air, movement, outdoors, and right thought, those were kind of the things that I took away from the biggest piece of remembrance or advice that I could give myself or anyone else thinking of doing some kind of extended fast, which is like looking towards nature, because the beauty of it is you can really interpret it any which way you'd like, and just going outside and being in silence and in the spaces in between the sentences really holds a lot of potential for that awareness. So I'm really humbled by the fact that I've been getting in touch with my creative side and feeling more inspired. So much mahalo and aloha, and thanks for being with me through this.
Give your arms over to me.